majority of the player base that actually bought Modern Warfare 3 are loving it. The Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps play great, the gunplay and movements are fantastic, but there's still one thing that can make the game a bit of a drag, and that's skill-based matchmaking. The thing making every game feel like a ranked play match or CDL final. I really don't have much of an issue with SBMM in theory. It helps newer players and lower skilled players have fun, but I think most agree that the level of strictness of SBMM right now makes every game feel ridiculous. So today we're covering how to reduce the strength of SBMM to get easier lobbies and just have a nicer time on Modern Warfare 3 in general. I'm going to include a few different methods, with the last one being the weirdest one I've ever heard, which weirdly works. We'll start with the most technical method of the lot, which you may have heard of by now, and that's to use a VPN and geofencing. This is where people connect to servers with perceivably lower skilled players. So in the UK, people using a VPN may connect to, say, Egypt, and the theory is that these places have fewer players on those servers, so the game can't take the liberty of picking and choosing the perfect lobby. It just has to fill the lobbies with all kinds of mixed players. So essentially, skill-based matchmaking has been removed. It's just more of a randomized lobby. This technique isn't going to be for everyone, since it does often require paid subscriptions and quite a bit of effort to do it, especially if you're not on PC. But the next method is much simpler, but uses the same theory in a way, and that's to simply play modes that have larger player requirements for the games. So in Modern Warfare 3, this is playing modes like War, Ground War, 10 vs 10 Mosh Pits, and Invasion, with more large game modes likely to follow. This reduces the strictness of skill-based matchmaking, much like the VPN method. Because so many players are required for these modes, it's more important to the game to start the match fairly quickly with a decent connection for everyone, rather than possibly have to wait around for a few minutes to make sure every game has players of very similar skill levels in there. So this just loosens up those thresholds a little bit, making for more casual matches, quite similar to how Call of Duty used to be with connection-based matchmaking. And of course, with this technique, the bigger the mode, the better for reducing SBMM. And to reduce it even more, try playing matches at off-peak hours, where there are just fewer players playing. So for example, in early mornings. This again has the same effect of playing on quiet servers. The game just tries to get a match going and has to expand the threshold of who they would normally put in there just to fill the game. Now this doesn't mean you're just straight away going to get an easy game full of terrible players. It just means that the lobbies will be full of mixed ability players. So in theory, if you're a very low skilled player, you may actually want to avoid doing some of these things, because the game may get much harder. But it is at least a more authentic experience this way. Speaking of lower skilled players, if you're friends with someone lower skilled than you can always matchmake with them to get easier lobbies. Well, easier lobbies for yourself at least. This isn't exactly a method I recommend unless you were just wanting to play with those friends anyway, since it does goose the matchmaking system to be worse for your friend. But it does highlight one of the main drawbacks to SBMM for me, and that's being able to kick back and relax with your friends who may be of mixed ability on Call of Duty. If you love the game and play a lot, chances are you're actually quite good. If you then want to play with a friend who may be new to the game or just doesn't play that much, it's gonna put them in lobbies which won't be enjoyable if they're playing with you. Now lastly, I want to share with you a strange technique I've come across recently, and that's to alter skill-based matchmaking with your settings. For this, we want to turn controller vibration on and revert back any other method that you've changed to the default setting that you can handle without the game feeling too off, so maybe some less important settings. And the theory is that matchmaking is actually based on more than just your skill, and the game uses many different data points to match us, one of which is apparently our settings. So perhaps they feel if someone has mega tuned settings week 1 of the new game, chances are they're pretty good at the game, so they'll just match them with people of similar settings as well as skill. This may be more the case when they don't have as much data on people. I don't really know. To me, this really did sound like a load of old arse. Like, are we really getting that desperate? But after I tried it for a few games, it kind of seemed to make a difference. Now, obviously, it is very tricky to determine if this is correct, since we can't see the KD of our lobbies. We can only really go off our performance and the feel of the game, which obviously isn't super reliable. But honestly, it did seem to make a difference. Give this one a go along with the others mentioned here, and please let me know how they worked for you, and actually what you think of SBMM in general down in the comments. Then why don't we catch up over here with the best free skins in Modern Warfare 3, or over here with the latest best graphic settings.